Namaskar to everyone.
Namaskar.
Good afternoon. Thank you, sir. Actually, I was a bit dilemma before starting. I would like to share something that how to shorten my prelude. I had a word with Nilay sir also and Vipul sir also, but your video has somewhat cleared my confusion. First of all, we would like to thank DV sir and Genius Group of Institutions to give such a platform to explore such topic through a medium of Intellect Meet. And moreover, I would like to thank Dhaval sir also, who has guided me to shape up this particular project. So, first of all, my project is about legacy of Egyptian empires. What is legacy? Can anyone tell me? Yes, sir.
It's a heritage we give it to the next generation.
Yes, exactly. The heritage what we have got from the ancient civilizations or the ancient culture, right? That's what we can call legacy. So the ancient Egyptian civilization, as far as I highlighted already, that it has used to be occurred 3,000 years ago. Are they still reflected somewhere in the modern world or not? So I have tried to correlate that particular thing through my topic. In my topic, actually my objective is, as I already highlighted, that my objective is that I have tried to correlate the things we used to prevail before 3,000 years ago to the modern world, and through the case study of King Tutankhamun, what sir has highlighted, how did he die? Unexpectedly. So that's what my topic is about. Let's move further. So introduction, as I already told you. So starting with the political structure first. See, this is the time what I am talking about is before 3,000 years ago, approximately, before Christ. So this was the political structure. This pyramid, which you have seen so many times, right? And perhaps pyramids might have become the symbol of Egyptian civilization, right? So why this pyramid? There are so many reasons behind this. So first of all, political structure through the symbol of pyramid, because as you can see, the top would be one. There is pharaoh, which are considered to be the god or equivalent to god. Whatever they say, people follow them blindly, right? So there would be no question, or there would be no any kind of a debate about it. Whatever they say, people blindly follow, because what people believe that they are their god. That's all. And moreover, the base expands as and when the officials would be increased in numbers, just like the judicial system of India. So why pyramids? So pyramids used to be built for the burial purpose. So if you are talking about the human perceptions or human mentality, we usually don't think about the death while living. Are we? But at that time, if you are talking about, they were. Because if you are talking about any of the pharaoh who used to build their own pyramid while they were in the reign, right? And that pyramids used to be built for their burial purpose. And there was a race at that particular time. Each of the pharaoh would like to, build higher pyramids than the other, so that they would like to show the status and the class. But that fashion was up to 1650 BC. After that, somewhat the building of pyramid fashion was completely out of fashion. Then after, from the west bank of river Nile, people have started believing that they should be buried from where they belong. Means in the sand, from the roots. So instead of pyramids, rock cut tombs. That's what we can call the Valley of the Kings. Now, from the pyramids also, as sir has told, that many of the tombs and mummies have been researched, and from the valley of the king. So these both pictures are there. Now, majority about the, about the religion, about the God, about the superstition. They were all believing in nature gods. As you can see that major gods I have highlighted here. Amun the sun god, Aten the sun disk, right? These all are the major gods. Religion. So if you are talking about the time before 3000 years ago, there was a time of polytheism. Now what polytheism is? Belief of many gods. People were believer of so many gods. The gods which I have already highlighted, they were all nature gods, right? So they were all believer of nature gods. So this particular topic is strictly restricted to the 18th dynasty. I am not talking about entire Egyptian empire. My topic is strictly restricted to the 18th dynasty. Now 18th dynasty has been started from the Amenhotep III. He was on the throne for 40 years, almost 4 golden decades you can say, because at that time people were a believer of polytheism, right? And why it has been considered as the golden period? Because there was no major complaints to the people. People were highly satisfied. But after his death, his son has been succeeded to the throne. So at that time you might be aware about that the same name with the different number has been given. So the Amenhotep IV, who has been succeeded after the death of Amenhotep III, but he has, initiated one of the strangest period in the history. He has started one particular god, worshipping one particular god, that is Aten sun disk, which I have shown you in the previous slide. Polytheism concept has been removed. Moreover, he has started smashing Amun's temples and Amun's images. So he has, started monotheism. And he was so depth into it that he has changed his name from Amenhotep IV to Akhenaten. Akhenaten means servant of Aten. Aten the sun disk which he has started worshipping. And people have started calling him Beki, means the strange kind of a personality due to such kind of a behavior. When his son was there, he has given his son name Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun means the living image of Aten. So even in his son he wanted to, same expectations from his son that he would, continue the services of God Aten. But as and when this person Tutankhamun has come into throne, he has come to know about what his father has done and what his dynasty was following before his father's reign. He has restored the polytheism way and started practicing the worship of God Amun and changed his name to Tutankhamun. Now, when he come to throne, he was 9 years of age, and for 10 years he was in the throne, and 19 years, at the age of 19 years, he was died unexpectedly, suddenly. How did he die? That was still a mystery. So through this case study, I have tried to, resolve this. In 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter has found the tomb of King Tutankhamun from the Valley of the King, right? So when he found the tomb for the very first time, the tomb was intact. Intact means it was like undamaged. And why Tutankhamun was so famous? Because the actual amount of treasure found from his tomb, none of the tombs had been found with such kind of a treasure, that's why. Now what was the mystery about it that as I already told you that he was 19 years of age when he has died. So people had so many beliefs, so many perceptions. So majority of the perception of the people that he was died means it was a murder. There was two reasons, major reasons why people were believing that it was a murder. Because first reason was that he has restored the polytheism way. What his father was practicing was different thing, and with the age of only 9 years he has restored the polytheism, what his grandfather used to practice. So that was the one reason. And the second reason was, actually there were so many alternatives available when his father died and he was so small. However, there was a system or there was a ritual that only son can, inherit the throne. But there was so many alternatives or so many capable persons were available at that time who could come into throne instead of his son, because his son was so small. But then too his son was been into throne on the age of 9. So he not only inherited the throne, but he inherited the enemies also along with the throne. So majority of the perception said that it was a murder. First city scan in 1968 of King Tutankhamun's mummy had been done. At that particular time they have found the major severe crack on the rear part of his skull. So according to the report, the blow was from the weapon, right? At that particular time. So the beliefs have become more stronger that it is nothing but the murder only. People were initially believed that it was a murder, but this crack shows that this is a blow. So definitely it is a murder only. Now after 1968, more 40 to 45 years after, virtual autopsy had been taken place. Now what is virtual autopsy? Virtual autopsy means when thousands of CT scan images have been put together and form a three-dimensional skeleton image, which can be rotated also and which can be a kind of a virtual thing. So through that virtual autopsy report, they have come across many clues. Now who has done this virtual autopsy has been done by Dr. Ashraf Salim. Dr. Ashraf Salim has highlighted that the severe crack what we have found from the rear part of his head was after death. Was of after death. Means there was no murder. So how it had happened? So as I told you in 1922 when Howard Carter has found his tomb at that particular time, while opening the burial mask, he has damaged the mummy a lot. Because the ritual resins was so hardened, he has tried to open but he has damaged the mummy. So this severe crack what we have seen was of after death. More fascinating clue that the fracture on the left knee also had been seen through the virtual autopsy report. Now what this particular fracture, how this particular fracture could occur? So Dr. Salim has said that it was just before the death. So now how this fracture could be possible? So people whosoever has found the tomb, means Mr. Howard Carter, at that particular time they have found 6 different chariots from the tomb. So from that they have come to conclusion that he was fond of chariot racing. So researchers have tried to drive chariots by themselves, and even they have tried to measure the speed, highest speed. Highest speed they have generated 40 kilometers per hour. So Dr. Richard Frampton, who is a crash injury expert, who has said that this particular fracture would be enough, this speed would be enough if someone would be fall from the chariot. So this fracture can happen. But now again, the twist in the story, in the virtual autopsy report, this clubfoot in layman's term, means in common people's term, what we can call this particular part was twisted. So how this twisted clubfoot? So they have come to conclusion that while walking, he was limping a lot. So he certainly needed a stick while walking. So now again another experiment has been done in the chariot itself, that can we drive a chariot by 1 foot? So they have experimented and they have come to conclusion that we cannot. This is impossible. So fall from the chariot and death or fracture was again was the out of the question. Then they have gone for the DNA test of the tomb mummy. Means there was a more couple of mummy, there was a nested coffins. So they have, take the samples of the King Akhenaten, Tutankhamun and the King Nefertiti. So they have come to, conclusion they were their parents. But along with that facts, they have come to one more surprising fact, that his parents were brother and sister. So the Tutankhamun was the product of incest. So now through the incest relations, what consequences or what kind of difficulties come into his life, that not only twisted clubfoot he had from the bone, this disability, moreover he was having a feminine appearance. Even being a male, he was having such kind of a feminine appearance. And even his father, Akhenaten, was also having the same kind of feminine appearance, even being male. So then they have come to know that his father also was the product of incest. Means this 18th dynasty was, incest was the more common thing at that particular time. Finally, they have got the clue from the Sphinx that this particular part of the Sphinx, in the beneath of the skins, that is a stone inscription. From that inscription, they have found the story that his grandfather used to see visions. Means that is hallucinations, what we can call it. So this hallucinations concept, due to incest relationship, in Akhenaten's life also they have recorded same kind of hallucinations, and due to that he has initiated the strangest period, and the same kind of hallucinations has seen in Tutankhamun's life also. Now why incest? We people know that these are the consequences of incest relations, disability in child and all that. But why incest? So they were, like the royal pharaohs were they were considered themselves as a god. So they did not want their blood to be mixed up with other dynasty. That's why they were so much believer of the incest relations. They were unaware about the consequences. Adverse effects on Tutankhamun of incest relations, that disabled foot, what we have seen, right? Feminine appearance, and due to that bone disorder, what we can call Kohler's disease, he has developed in his body, and due to that severe infections he had, and due to the hallucinations, unexpected falls, fractures, and that has led King Tutankhamun to the death. That is due to the forensic reconstruction techniques, the CGI body has been developed of King Tutankhamun. As you can see, the twisted clubfoot, he was certainly needing what you can say stick also, and his appearance was little bit feminine. Now I have tried to universalize this particular topic through the, make my questions to the local people, that are you a believer of monotheism or polytheism? So majority of the people said that they are the believer of polytheism. Afterlife concept, do you believe? So if you are talking about Hindu religion, we do believe in, 12th day ritual, 13th day ritual. We used to offer also food to our ancestors. So this is afterlife concepts, more or less we are still connected with that. Incest, do you believe it's appropriate? So we all are aware about the consequences or the ill effects of it. So majority of the people say it's not proper. Adverse most effect of incest, that so many varieties of answers I had. Death of the child in infancy, hormonal disorders, physical or mental disability. Superstition believers. So majority of the people says no, they are not, but they do. We do, in fact. Hallucinations, if they believe, so people say yes. We do believe in what we feel, what we see, what we touch may not be true. Now, see, here some strange kind of answers I got, that what according to you would be the probable reason behind the hallucinations. So, majority of the people said that supernatural influence was the reason behind it. What we can call Mataji, Awa and all, that is supernatural influence. Now, the final question, do you believe that our modern world has the reflections of the ancient Egyptian culture? So, majority of the people said, yes, it is still there. So, from my objective, as I told you, that I would like to correlate the things. These are my conclusions, that through the case study of Tutankhamun, I have concluded here that whatever things used to prevail before 3000 years ago are still reflected somewhere in the modern world. Incest relations, through the incest relations, the disability, or what you can say, the hormonal changes we may have seen, and polytheism practices. Majority of the people which has been initiated in the ancient Egypt civilization are still being practiced today, means belief of many gods. Thank you.